Hello friends and welcome to Miscellany 16 for 2021. I'm Mike Bermingham, and this week we see some Roman ruins, ask what is Ireland's most precarious building, see a dog cozying up to an owl of all things, and find out what one guy thinks God's name is. Our brain teaser first though, it asks, what can be seen in the middle of March and April that cannot be seen at the beginning and end of either month? The answer to come at the end. Vintage picture time. War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. Well, so sang Edwin Starr, a lot better than me, in 1970. Wars are rarely popular, of course, and the Vietnam War was no exception. Hugely unpopular in the US of the 1960s, bringing protesters onto the streets and campuses. San Francisco was one such location. And here is a picture from the 60s that show mounted policemen attending an anti-Vietnam War march and looking on in San Francisco on April 15th, 1967. Yes, flower power was in bloom, and Scott McKenzie was to immortalise the city in song in his chart-topping hit recording that same year. Just be sure to wear some flowers in your hair. World of mystery now. A Roman ruin has been unearthed at a planned Scarborough housing estate in the UK, and archaeologists believe it may be the first and only one of its kind. The building complex, dating from the period of Roman rule, somewhere between 43 AD and 410 AD, consists of a circular room with adjoining chambers built to a design never before seen in Britain. Archaeologists believe the complex, which functioned like a gentleman's club for the wealthy elite, could also be the first of its kind to be discovered within the entire former Roman Empire. The site's in North Yorkshire. Mr. Keith Emmerich, Inspector of Ancient Monuments, says it could have belonged to someone of high status in what was a highly productive area of the empire, and would have likely been quite luxurious, being a kind of Roman spa and gentleman's club. The site would have also provided views all across the area of the rich agricultural land which would have been used at the time. And now to Ireland for some nostalgia. Some events from this week back in time include April 15, 1784. The first unmanned balloon in Ireland is launched by Richard Crosby. He was also the first Irishman to make a manned flight the very following year in 1785. He flew in a hydrogen air balloon from Ranelagh on Dublin's south side to Clontarf on Dublin's north side on the 19th of January 1785. He was 30 years old. 1848 on Abbey Street in Dublin, the tricolour national flag of Ireland is presented to the public for the first time by Thomas Francis Maher and the Young Ireland Party. Thomas was also a hero of the American Civil War. 1864, the first Dublin Horse Show is held. 1912, the Titanic sinks on her maiden voyage with a loss of 1,513 lives, many of them Irish. 732 survive. April 16th, 1752, the first regular stagecoach service between Dublin and Belfast commences. April 20th, 1896, a demonstration of the cinematography is held in Dublin at the wonderfully named Dan Lowry's Star of Erin Theatre of Varieties. It's now known as the Olympia Theatre. 1912, the passing of Dublin writer Bram Stoker, creator of Dracula. 1991, Sean O'Phelan, writer, dies at 91, best known for his short stories collected in such volumes as Midsummer Night's Madness, The Man Who Invented Sin, The Heat of the Sun, and The Talking Trees. Amongst his novels are A Nest of Simple Folk and Come Back to Erin. April 22nd, 1967, actor and writer Walter Mackin passes away at his home in the Gaeltacht village of Menlo in Galway. A prolific author, he is best known for his novel Rain on the Wind and his trilogy about the famine, Seek the Fair Land, the silent people, and the scorching wind. April 23, 1967, a local parish priest voices his extreme opposition to the appearance of movie star Jane Mansfield at the Mount Brandon Hotel in Tralee, and the concert is duly cancelled. 3 weeks later, she is tragically killed in a car accident. To question of the week now, where we ask, what is Ireland's most precarious building? Well, we all know this building, the Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy. Does Ireland possess such a building? It does, but rather than being a tower, ours is a temple. This is Mussenden Temple near Castle Rock, Northern Ireland. Now, in architectural terms, a folly is a structure made for decoration rather than function. The term also defines foolish decisions. Mussenden Temple happens to embody both meanings of that word. The structure is certainly an unusual sight, built in 1785 by the Earl of Bristol. It was modelled after the ancient temple of Vesta in Rome and once housed the Earl's library. A fire was kept burning in the temple's basement to prevent damp air from damaging the books. Now, as for the foolish part, the image clearly shows just how precariously the temple is perched. Now, centuries of erosion have brought the cliff face ever closer to the structure. The Earl originally had it built only about 10 metres from the edge, but since 1997 work has been ongoing to stabilise the precipice, so hopefully the temple will remain dramatically perched on the Northern Ireland coast for a long while to come. It's video now. And from Instagram and the page Earth Focus, and in the How Cute Is That department, here's a picture, a video as well, of man's best friend cozying up to an owl. Well, thanks to Tanya Brandt for that video. And if you ever wondered what God's name is, here's a guy who thinks he may have the answer.
What is God's name?
Howard.
How do you know God's name is Howard?
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Howard be thy name. I guess we hear sometimes what we want to hear, or certainly he did in his case. Our brain teaser answer now. What can be seen in the middle of March and April that cannot be seen at the beginning or end of either month? Did you get it? It was, as you can see here, the answer or right in the middle of the 2 months. The final word, quote or affirmation of this week. It is said the next global crisis will be that of mental health. To that end, remember this: persistent patterns of thinking create our realities. So try to only focus on the health and well-being of yourself and those around you. The results will be astounding. A couple of things of interest over the last several days. Thank you so much for looking in. We are on Facebook, YouTube and Instagram, and please help share this video forward to grow the family of Miscellany watchers. Until next time, look out for one another, be safe and be well, and bye for now.
From the home studio of Michael Bermingham.